What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today. It's a live edition of your favorite show and mine, and we're with someone that I've been trying to have on the show for a while now. She finally responded to my messages. I only had to do it like 10,000 times. You may have seen her somewhere in the world, but super excited to talk to Rhoda Young, who is the chief, whatever you want to call yourself, officer of Rhoda Young Live. It's a live Facebook show where she goes around in her community, which also happens to be the same community that I live in Norfolk, Virginia, and all in the surrounding area. And she goes and she reports the news or the crimes or the stories that are in her neighborhood. And she does something that is pretty remarkable, because if you follow her, you will notice that each of her live hits while on Facebook Live has hundreds to thousands of people watching, which is remarkable to me because so many people will try to copy what other people do. And Rhoda is so genuine in what she does, and she gets the results. She has a very strong following. When I posted that we were doing this show, or we posted a previous interview, she was getting a ton of likes and a ton of people doing it. So without further ado, Rhoda Young, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. So, who is Rhoda Young? Everyone sees you on the scene, but no one actually knows who Rhoda Young is. And you even said earlier, I don't know why people are following me. So who is Rhoda Young?
Rhoda Young is just Rhoda Young. I'm just the average housewife with 4 kids and a husband and 2 stray cats. So it's nothing spectacular to me. I'm just the average citizen in the city of Norfolk.
Wonderful. So you've been doing this live Facebook show. It took off about this time last year when you went to the scene of a fire. You solved this crime. And ultimately, that Facebook Live video ultimately got picked up by the show on Comedy Centrals Tosh.O. How long before you did that show, though, not the Tosh.O, but that November fire, how long have you been doing the live piece at that point?
I've been doing live videos forever. It took that fire for people to recognize me out there. You know, I'm always out there with my camera. It was just something about that fire incident that made everybody pick up on me. And
what was so special about it?
I guess that everybody just recognized my real personality. You know, a lot of people take my personality as being like joking on the fire scene or maybe playing around. However, that's just my true personality. I laugh a lot, I play a lot, I speak different from other people. So with all that together, everybody think I'm playing, but actually that's who I am.
Which I appreciate, and I think so many people will try to, and I said this a little bit earlier, act like someone else or be someone else instead of speaking in their own language. And we build this fake world. And you, who not everyone loves because maybe you have filthy language or you use words or you're not like other people, but you're yourself and you're true to that and you're genuine to that. Is that something that you're conscious of when you're doing it? Like, do you, like, because so many other people are trying to be other people. People hate me because I wear jeans and a t-shirt every day. And I'm like, I'm sorry that you don't like that I'm being myself. I love that you act yourself. Like, what do you do with the haters? Because I know there are a lot of people who are like, who is this girl? Why is she doing this? She's not professional. Like, what's your reaction to that?
Well, Zach, I tell you this. My haters weigh on me heavily. You know, people don't understand that when I get like comments that's not good comments, and I knew I tried my best, it affects me. So it keeps me on an emotional roller coaster. You know, because I'm learning that I'm not going to be able to please everybody. Regardless if I'm doing my best or the best I know how to do, everybody's not going to be pleased with the way I do the things that I do. And I can't be nobody but me. You know, like it was said, I'm not a news anchor. You know, I don't work for the different news station. I'm just Rhoda with a camera that people like to tune into when I turn my camera on. So I'm not trying to act like the media. I'm just trying to be Rhoda.
Which I love. If you guys are watching this and you want other people to see it as well, feel free to share it with your network so that the whole world can see Rhoda Young live on a live show we're turning the tables on you. So the name, Rhoda Young, that's your real name. Then you added live to it. Like, was that an easy decision? When did you start calling yourself Rhoda Young Live?
The day of the fire. I was like, we live, you know. And I was just so happy to be on the acts of fire because my husband have always loved fire because his dad was from the fire department. And he talked about the fire so much. I was like, please leave me alone about these damn fire trucks. You know, I was like, you are driving me crazy, but I didn't recognize everything Stephen kept repeating to me over and over again. I was absorbing it, you know. So when I went out to that fire scene, no, I did not pronounce the proper words, but I knew what I was talking about, you know. So I was just throwing things off my head that Stephen normally tells me, like teleswerve. I was saying teleswerve, you know, I was saying all kind of stuff, but I was just trying to use my memory bank on what the proper names was, but I just didn't know how to properly pronounce the names.
So for someone who has never seen you, or for those of you who have watched, you know, dozens or hundreds of videos of yours, let's dissect what you do. So you take the thing that everyone has, a cell phone, right?
Right.
You go live, and you, in your perspective, provide the information that people are seeing. And that's it?
That's it.
So why are so many people so hesitant to do it?
That is it.
Why are people so hesitant, though, to just go live? Why are people so hesitant to do what you do?
I don't know. My sister, I think it's natural for me. You know, it's natural for me to get out and get into the midst of everything. My sister asked me as well, how do I get the nerves to do the things I do? I said, what did I do? You know, I just feel like it comes natural, you know. If I see an accident, a car accident or whatever, I just feel like picking up my phone, turning it on, talking about what's going on, letting the people know in the city of Norfolk or the 757 what's going on around us. So it's all natural for me. It's just like, it's like a magnet. When I see things, I want to, you know, just jump into it and jump into the action.
A lot of the people have self-proclaimed you the hood reporter. Do you like that name?
I love it. You know, I have no shame of using the word hood reporter because I was born and raised in the hood, which I didn't raise my kids in the projects. As a little girl, I played with my dog, and I said I was not going to raise my kids where I was raised at. But I embraced the fact that I was raised in the project because it gave me the opportunity that most people don't have. You know, being raised in the projects, it gives you so much more than the average person. We may not have the best of the education, but we know the best of the know-how. You know, we know how to struggle. We know how to make ends meet. We know what it feels like to have them and not to have things. And it made me look at the world differently. I don't feel like I was born, and I know I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I can appreciate the small things in life other than people that's been born with like a silver spoon, that's used to having the things they want. I'm used to having things I'm used to wanting things I can't have. So yeah. I can relate to most people that's out there, and I think that's where people come at and they can feel me more because I'm not out there looking down at them. I'm standing right there on the same level with them.
We live in a world where participation trophies, perfectionist, every picture on Instagram showing that people are in this, they have this perfect life. But I think most people have forgotten that that's not the perfect world, right? That life is actually very different than, oh, I set the right filter with the right lighting and doing this. Again, that's why I love your style of reporting, because it's very, it's the truth. It's right there. It might be behind your lens, but you're right there. So when you get to a scene, what are you looking for? How do you dissect a scene? How do you be Rhoda Young Live?
When I get to a scene, all I want to do is get out. I'm looking for my camera. That's the first thing I'm looking for. Where is my phone at? And when I jump out, I'm looking for a person that look inviting. Someone that's willing to talk to me, you know. Someone that look like they'll be nice to me and want to explain to me what's going on. I want to know what happened, how did it happen, who caused the accident, who caused the fire, you know, anything that's involved. But I'm looking for a person that's willing to speak. And everybody have an oil about themselves. You can kind of basically read the scene when you get out there. You can tell who's approachable, who's not approachable.
Is your goal to be funny with this? I mean, is Rhoda Young a comedian? Is that what you're selling? But you just happen to be on a scene. Is that what you're trying to do, or do you just give a little bit of a comedic flair to it?
I'm just Rhoda Young, and that's the funny part about it, I'm just me. Everything they see me do on the scene, if they meet me in reality, they'll see me the same way all the time. I'm always me, always being like kind of fun. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the joke. Growing up, I showed y'all my baby picture on Facebook. I had a flat nose. They call it a flat nose. So growing up with a different type of nose, they called me plug nose in school. So I'm from the projects, and the only thing we knew was to defend ourselves. So when they called me plug nose, I had to learn how to joke back, So I always had some type of comedian inside of me because I always been on the defense for myself. So I always know how to clap back on somebody real quick. Just because of growing up with a different shaped nose and everything, I was constantly being joked. Instead of me allowing people to bully me, I took it back around and started joking them back, and that's how I made it through school successfully. Without being bullied and feeling like, oh, I don't look cute enough, I don't have a pointed nose, I don't have the perfect nostrils and stuff like that. I turned everything they was doing to me and start attacking them back in a funny way. So I think I got my joking naturally.
Do you think we'll ever live in a life where the bullying or the just negativity isn't there? Will we ever see that?
Oh, we'll never see those days. Those days will never come.
Do you think we're getting worse or better in the world of bullying? Does technology, does social media, does people being able to see you 24/7, does that make things worse or better in that specific respect?
I think we're getting better with it because now people are saying you can't just come on Facebook now and joke somebody because their hair don't look right. You just can't come on Facebook and joke somebody because they don't have the right clothes on. People can post pictures, and I have done it myself. The person may not look good in the picture to you, but guess what? Everybody now is telling them, oh, you look beautiful today. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. They put it beside how they feel about a person should look and giving people inspiration to, post more pictures and things like that. So people are more uplifting right now, I think, so than back in the days. At least my generation is.
You've built a personal brand that I think a lot of people would love to see the numbers that you've done that, right? So a personal brand is you branding what you do. So maybe it creates a career out of it so that people can follow you and enjoy the content that you create. From a personal brand, if someone is looking to build a social media channel, a personal brand themselves, what are some things that you have done with your page that has gotten pretty good results that seems to work over and over and over again?
Well, I think Facebook has been good to me. I know Facebook have been good to me. I know a lot of people say, well, Rhoda, if you go to YouTube, you can sell your videos, you can make money off this, you can make money off that. But I have been strictly Facebook. If people don't have to go far to find me, they don't have to look for me on Facebook, Twitter, they don't have to look for me on YouTube. They always find me in one place, and that's Facebook. And whether I'm making money off it on Facebook or not, it's not about the money. It's about the love. So I stay where my fans are. My fans, I don't know about nobody else's fans are on YouTube, but my fans love me on Facebook. So that's where I'm at right now. So all I did was stick to what I do, and I stayed with Facebook all the way through.
I love that. So many people will try to be a winner on so many different platforms, and you found one that worked and are sticking to it and are going to be there thick and thin. And also, if you think about it, because you're sticking to that, you're focusing on that one channel to be your win, and you're able to see the results from it. Where if you were to then go live on Instagram or do a Twitter video, you might not get the same kind of effect from that.
Exactly. You start spreading your stuff real thin. Exactly. You're gonna get some fans. You got older people that watch me on Facebook. Just learn how to use Facebook. If I switch over to YouTube, they don't know how to get to YouTube. So I'm gonna lose 10% of my older followers. And then if you go to Twitter, they don't know how to get to Twitter. So everything gonna cut in half when you start spreading it out too thin.
Love it. When did you decide to start buying the swag, the hats, the T-shirts that I'm seeing?
When everybody started following me, and I was just jumping out, and I was saying, I'm beating Channel 10, beating Channel 3, and they was coming out there with their hats and stuff on. I said, I need me a hat. I need me a T-shirt. So I just invested in a couple shirts and hats. So you're not a traditional journalist. You're not a traditional reporter. Yet, are you competing with those other folks, or you just talked about those TV channels? Like, what's your play with that? Why? I've seen the thing about Joe Fisher before, where he's your boo or he's not your boo. You like him, you don't like him.
like, what's the play with the local media? What are you trying to do there?
I like teasing with them. I like picking with them. I'm definitely not a news reporter. You know, I'm not, and I'm not trying to be a news reporter. I'm just Rhoda Young. And I just found it exciting when I could just run up to them and pick with them. You know, they love me. And they tell me behind the scenes how much they love me. They actually love me. And I just give them a little kick, you know what I'm saying? Make their job a little more exciting, because somewhere inside the office, they took the fun out of reporting. You know, somewhere inside the office, the managers took the excitement from the news anchormen. I feel as though if they give the news anchormen a little more space to be who they are, they can get more ratings. It's so many news anchormen and women's out there. They got personalities just like myself, and I know Joe Fisher do, because I was on a scene with him one time. They can really show who they are if they give them some space. I learned that they can't videotape certain things unless they get permission or get assignment to that. They're holding them back. They can be everywhere. They can be everywhere I am if they get them free will. They don't have free will to report on anything they want to. Everything is controlled from the office. And it makes the news boring. Because the people's already on the street. They see things they want to put on TV. But when they take it back to the network cut it up and never post it. So I think the management in the news network is holding back the news anchormen.
Interesting. So you were on Tosh.O.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that whole thing go down?
Oh, it was lovely. I just loved it. I loved it. Tosh was, oh my God, he is so adorable. He was really nice and genuine. And his whole crew was awesome.
So they just called you one day and were like, hey, we liked your video. We want you to be on the show?
Yeah, I was like, they called me. I was like, no, I don't know who. There was a lot of people calling me. I was like, whatever. All these people talking about they want to make a TV show with me. They want me to come on their TV show. And I called my producer.
Yeah, I had to deal with that too. You ignored me for months.
Yeah. But I didn't see you. When I saw your video, I sat straight up in the bed. Steven said, you seen this? I said, what? I sat straight up in that bed. I said, hit him in the inbox.
And we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so Tosh calls. Or his producer calls. Or...
I called my producer, and I was like, some producer from this show called Tosh.O called me. I was like, well, I didn't respond to him. She said, excuse me? Her name Jamie from Red Earth Industries. She said, Rhoda, you know who Tosh is? I said, no. She said, hang up the phone right now. Call them back right now. And that's how we got on Tosh. Because I didn't know who he was at first, you know, because I'm not a big TV person. So then they were like, Rhoda, he is like one of the funniest people out there. He have his own comedian show.
So how did you prepare for that show?
I went out there, got me a suit jacket, got my name stitched into it, packed my suitcase, and we left. I didn't do no preparation, all I wanted was my hair done, a nice outfit, and we was gone.
And when you finally saw the production, you had recorded it, you had done what you did with him and the team there, did it turn out the way that you wanted to? Was it better, worse? I mean...
I think it was better. It was better. It was just simply amazing. I didn't know how much it took. They had to put into, recording things. They had to build stages, and they had to build me a news anchor stand. It's like a warehouse on the inside, and each corner had a different spot where you sit at, a different scene. So it was just amazing. And
a big production studio like that is not going to just use the phone like you and I will to do a live show, right? Like, I'm just on my laptop, I press record, we're recording this, it does it from there. You basically do the same thing I do. You do it with your phone, I do it with my laptop. They're doing it with hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment and stuff like that. And so it's so looking at something like that and seeing what they do and then seeing the results that you get, like, do you think that they're going to move towards not just Tosh, but any kind of big media production team like that? Like, do they talk about Facebook Live? Do they talk about these opportunities that you're being able to build, talking directly with your community and following? Like, do you think they're going to move towards that soon?
I think they will. I think I am, and a lot more people like myself. We are like we're before our times. What people are seeing now, we're showing people. This is what the world is turning into.
Right.
I talked to one of the news stations the other day. They were like, Rhoda, no, your camera is fine. You do so much with your camera that we do the same thing with this big camera. He said eventually big camera's gonna be obsolete.
Right.
So the big camera ain't gonna be there no more. Everybody gonna be using these little small phones that we have, edit it right there on your phone, and be done with it. Send it off to the network.
If you guys have questions for Rhoda, feel free to ask them in the comments, and we will ask Rhoda right here. So in the last, 2 or 3 weeks, which has been building for the last 2 or 3 years, the whole Colin Kaepernick movement. Specifically, we know about the NFL and that, but I want to talk about the marketing ad that Nike did. And is that risky to do that? Is it something that was the right thing to do? Like, what are your thoughts? Have you seen the ad?
I really haven't seen the ads or anything. I'm not I'm always in the streets, so.
Right. Do you hear people talking about that ad though? Because it's been controversial for a few years, and now Nike basically bet a lot on him to be now, I guess, their spokesperson in some sort of way. Like, are people in your network, in your communities talking about that?
No, and nobody's saying anything about Nike. We rock Nike, so we're gonna continue to rock Nike regardless of what goes on. We rock with Nike, and that's when our #1 tennis shoe company. So that's what we do. We rock with Nike, and I'm about to go buy my daughter some tennis shoes from Nike today. So
yeah. Hey, if you want to sponsor my show and Rhoda's, feel free to. We don't just want the kicks. We don't just want the swag. We want money too. Nike.
That's it. Money is power.
So sponsors with your show. Have you done that yet? What's the game with that?
No one sponsors me. That's the sad thing about being Rhoda Young. Everybody loves me, but no one sponsors me. So I walk around with my little broken iPhone. Sometimes my speaker don't sound as well as it should, because people got to understand, when you start using your phone for equipment, it's going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? The phone was not built to be a piece of equipment. And so sometimes my speakers seem like they want to go out because I use it so much, or I might drop it on the scenes and stuff like that. So my biggest thing, I need sponsors. I need people that's going to be willing to, sponsor me and, just help me, do better. I need people that want to run ads and stuff on my page so I can get a new phone or a new stand if something happens and things like that. Because without sponsors, I feel like I'm just stuck where I'm at.
Is there a sponsor is there a dream sponsor? Like one that you would really like, or a few of them that you thought of that would be interested maybe?
I would just appreciate anyone that's willing to help and sponsor, Rhoda Young Live. I would just be appreciative of anyone or anything.
Have you heard of a Patreon page?
Yeah, I heard of that. I tried to start it. And see, that's what everybody don't understand. I'm not what you call a computer suave, or, I'm just a 46-year-old woman that turned on her cell phone one day and went viral. So I'm not really good with all the different little apps and things like that. So I would need someone that's good with stuff like that to help me build my Patreon page and stuff like that. I tried it, but I'm not the best at what I should be the best at.
So for those of you,
I have my own TV show coming out. Did I tell you that?
You what?
I have my own TV show coming out.
Well, let's hear about that.
Yes. I can't speak on what network it's going to be on, but I can let you know that my production company is Red Arrow Industries out of Texas. My manager, she's from LA. Her name is Melissa Campbell, and my producer is Jamie Paston.
Hello, Melissa and Jamie. Great to see you.
Yes. So we got a show coming out, and we're going to film it straight out of Norfolk, Virginia, and they'll be here within 2 or 3 weeks. And so we're going to do the presentation of the movie or the TV show, and it's going to be nice. And if anybody want to be in it or anything like that, because I'm going to need some extras, hit me up and let me know.
What's something about you that most people don't know?
What's about me that people don't know?
Yeah, something about you that people don't know about.
Oh, I love the Lord. Oh, how do I love the Lord? Even though I do a lot of cursing and stuff, I was brought up and I brought my kids up in church. I just love the Lord, and I know all my help coming from the Lord, and if I ever offended anybody out there while I was doing my little videotaping and stuff, please don't take it personal. I make no harm to nobody. I apologize right now. I'm very sensitive, very emotional. my goal is to help people, not to hurt people. I got 4 kids, 3 on grown. One of them is 15 years old. Everybody know my husband, Steven. And I'm a loving person, and I do whatever I can do to help somebody.
What do your kids think about you in this?
Huh?
What do your kids think about this whole thing?
I think my kids, they always knew I was halfway crazy, so they were like, oh, she just crazy. She's lying. She's not going to do this. Oh, my God, Mom, you can't. I just came from school. Everybody said you was on Facebook doing some crazy stuff. My youngest daughter, Gabby, she be embarrassed. My oldest son feel as though I should have took him to Tosh.O and not my husband. He wanted to fly on the airplane himself and go to L.A. My daughter, Rolanda is my biggest fan. She loves me to death. Anything I do, she support me. And my son, Stacy, just prefer everybody just get out of his life. So that's how it is.
So the way this whole thing started was I interviewed Blaine Stewart of Channel 3 about 6 months ago or so. For those of you who don't know, he's a morning anchor in the area that both Rhoda and I live in. I don't typically interview people who live in my area, but I happen to do that. And it was around the time that you had just gotten on Tosh's show, and so I brought you up. And a lot of people did not appreciate his response when I talked about you. And I said that I wanted to instigate a battle between Blaine Stewart and Rhoda Young. So here's your platform. Like, Blaine Stewart, wherever you are, like, what is your response to him, Rhoda?
Well, I had a whole bunch of fans tell me not to clap back because they know I clap back real good. They told me do not clap back. They said, Rhoda, do not give him none of your energy. Keep it positive. We got you. If anybody gonna clap back for you, let us do the clapping back. So my fans said they already took care of him, so I don't need to respond. They said they spoke for me, and I don't need to speak. But to Blaine Stewart, which I do watch, I used to admire him in the morning time when I used to watch TV because he's always surrounded by beautiful women and stuff. Everybody, I was like, oh, I know he just gives them inspiration and tell them how fabulous they look and how good they look. So I thought if I ever met him that he would probably love me and be like, hey, what's up, girl? What's up? I didn't know he felt that way. But I don't take it personal because I see behind him, because he mentioned cocktails with Rhoda Young one too many times. So I think he actually really do like me. I think he really do like me, and I think Blaine know that me and him could be best of friends. And I think Blaine know I say every damn thing he wish he could say on news. So I'm not mad at him, but I don't think he a hater. I just think that I don't think he a hater. I just think he spoke his opinion how he feel about me. And everybody have an opinion. And he have a right to have one. That's the way he feel about me. And I have my opinions about him. So everybody have their opinions about each other. I cannot. And I've been warned, I cannot get mad at everything people say about me. I'm going to have to brush some things off my shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Because if I walk around here getting mad at everything people saying about me, I'm going to lose my mind.
You said it, he did talk about, if he met you at a bar, would love to have a drink with you. So maybe you guys could be best friends. Maybe we could, let's set this up, the Rhoda and Blaine hour.
Yes, I think so. I think Blaine got some things he want to whisper in my ear. But like the PR for Norfolk Fire Department, he called me and he whispered some things in my ear about sensitivity. We got a lot we can, and see, being that I'm not from these fields, it's so much I can learn from different people that's already been in school and that's already in the fields. It's so much you can learn from people if you're willing to learn. And you got to be willing to have a listening ear. And my ear is wide open for advice and suggestions. So the guy told me about being more sensitive on scenes. Not that I'm not sensitive, but I could be more sensitive.
Right. Because you're just
up in my face and they're mad and angry because I'm videotaping. Instead of me coming back at them, I can just take time out, realize what they're going through, and take 2 steps back. So everything.
But that's an acquired thing that takes a lot of time. So you're so focused on getting the story out there that then you forget subconsciously, like, oh, I have to also think that this person lost their house, just got shot, got in a car accident, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, I have a journalism degree. They didn't teach us that there either. So that's just That's just
You
a
learn
sense.
that
So we got a lot of people on. Your husband says you look great, baby. So make sure to give Steven a kiss for that. Erica from New Jersey is sending a bunch of hearts. Erica says she also has watched Rhoda while she was in Virginia and hasn't stopped since. Adam says hi. Nisi, hey. Steven, your husband has 2 likes on that. Let's give him a couple more likes on that. You look good, baby. Love that. She's a great reporter. People love you as a reporter. You're genuine. You're not reporting to someone else. You're just reporting to your following. I think that's so important. She's a great and funny reporter. If you were to describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Loving.
Okay. Love and love it. Vessi says, hey, Zach, great. Thanks for having Rhoda Young on your show. She's what we need in the world of chaos and despair. You are so genuine. Like, have you always been genuine, or do you think it goes back to you with your flat nose and that's really where you kind of got that inspiration to be yourself?
I think we all was born with a gift. I think that's one of my gifts that God blessed me with, that I'm very compassionate. I care for people. I feel other people's pain. I sympathize with people going through, you know. If I could make this world great, I would. If I had the power to just and make everybody happy, I would.
Do you think you're doing that with your show?
I think I am. I really think I am. I got people in my inbox that want interviews this morning. They want, you know, people crying out for help. And people only ask for help. I told you I'm emotional. But people only ask for help from people that cares. So what it shows me that I care. For somebody to call and say, can you come help me? Can you come rectify the situation? I'm just a regular citizen. So it's something that I'm doing out there that people see and people appreciate and people trust me. You know, when I go in people's houses and stuff, it can be nasty, but I don't film on what's in a house that's nasty. I keep my camera shots high. I don't look low on people. I keep my camera shots high because I don't want nobody to make fun if they got these days walking around their house. I want people to see the issue they're going through because that's what we're here for. We're not here to talk about how nasty their stoves are. We're here to see why their air conditioner's not working. We're here to see why the people are allowing them to have rats and roaches and stuff and rodents in the house and stuff. So we're not here. I'm not there to badger people. I'm there to make it better for people. Steve, can I have tissue, please?
And you're providing a platform for them that other people won't. So you talked about roaches, air condition, things like that. Do you think that stuff will ever be reported on? Or is this just the platform that you are going to have to continue to build so that the people who want this voice can potentially get it fixed?
This is what God has ordained me to do. I didn't choose to do these things. I didn't choose for people to follow me. I didn't choose for, people to see I got a baby. I didn't choose for people to see my compassion on how great I feel about their issues and things like this. I feel like this is what God has chosen for me to do. I think the fire was just for the world. I think the fire was just a step up for me. I think the fire was for people to get me out there, and people can see my compassion and how I genuinely care about people. I think God blessed me with this spirit of mine so that people out there that need help can get the help that they need. I think God is using me to help out people that cannot be heard. And I think I am the instrument and the voice for the people that people forgot about. There's so many people out here that need help that don't get the resources, or people ain't willing to come out and share their story. I think God allowed people to see who I am so their stories can be heard and we can get the help and assistance that we need out here. I think it's bigger things that's going on in this world than who's running for the president of the United States or what did Donald Trump do yesterday tweeting on Facebook. I think we should spend more of our energy on what can we do to help people right here in our own states. What child is going to school, and you going to the bus stop every day with your child, and you see that child come to school and his shoes busted up. I think as a person, instead of people joking that child, I think you should take one day and buy that child a pair of tennis shoes if your child got a new pair of shoes on all the time. I think we need to become loving as people. I think it's time that we start showing love. See, in order to get love, we got to show love. I think if somebody parent don't comb their child hair in the morning time, instead of you being at the bus stop joking that child, I think you should walk out the house with a comb brush where you can brush that child hair before they get on the bus. I think you should be that come-to person if a person needs you. I think if an elderly person live in your neighborhood and they smell like urination, I think you should go get their clothes. I think you should wash them and take them back over there so they can have clean clothes to put on. That's what I think. I think if you see somebody outside that's homeless and don't have nothing to eat, I think you should buy them a burger to eat. So that's what I want. I want to bring back us loving each other.
Yeah.
We can kill a lot of things in this world with love.
All right, Rhoda. So I love that about everything that you were just saying about, people being good to the world. I have this whole thing where you should just say hello to someone, walk by and say hello to them, hold the door for people, all these simple things that my parents taught me and that I know are the right thing to do. But so many of us will just ignore that or walk down like this or not be a compassionate person. Like, it's such a simple thing to just say hello, hold the door for someone. Like, I'll be at the gym and there'll be, an older person. I'll literally just hold the door for them. People are like, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, oh my, thank you for doing that. I'm like, it takes me 2 seconds to hold the door. Like, what's something stupid simple like the door holding for someone that someone could be doing to start acting on kind of what you believe in from the love perspective?
Exactly. What I had to do? Because I like to speak a lot too. We can't worry about what people do to us though. And see, that's what we fall short at. Just because, like, in a grocery store, you're gonna notice a lot. You'll speak to people in the grocery store and they won't speak back.
Right.
And then you get an attitude. You walk down the aisle, you won't speak to nobody else because the person that you spoke to didn't speak back. See, we got to take away that. We got to start worrying about the way people treat us because we only judge by the way we treat people. You see what I'm saying? If we were, everything people do in life affects another person. So if we let that one person that did not speak to us, we start speaking to other people. We can't let that hold us because now we're becoming like them. So we got to do better as people. You know what I'm saying? All together, all of us as people, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to start. See, everything starts with us. We got to start by loving each other. Once you start, then somebody else is going to start. It's going to be a ripple effect, a domino effect. That's why I'm not going to clap back on Blaine. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to teach him love.
You buy him the drink.
And buy him a drink. Tequila, please. And open my arms, Blaine. I want to embrace you and give you a big old hug and tell you how proud I am of you and how much I love you and how much of a good job you're doing. And I love the fact that you ladies up there on the show with you look fabulous. Fabulous. And I know a lot of it got to do with you.
What's interesting is there is a lot of hate in the world. But what's interesting is I often believe that people are hating because they're jealous. People are hating because they don't want to hear the pain that someone has gone through to get to where they have, right? People see the one video for you, not the 3 years of videos beforehand. People see that one video and go, "Oh, she's fine." They don't see the everyday hustle that you put through. Like, consistency is so important, and so many people, they use the word hustle. They talk about wanting to make things happen, but they're not willing to put in the actual work. One of my favorite quotes was told to me by a friend, Nate Scholl, who runs a company called Swim Nerd, and he was told this by one of his coaches, and it's basically work works, right? If you work, good things will happen. Why are so many people so lazy and they don't want to put in the hours, the manpower to make the things work? Because nothing. People think it's going to be that straight line. It's never that straight line. It takes a lot of work to get the results that you want. Like, why has this society become what we have instead of actually still working?
People don't believe in dreams. People don't believe in dreams, Zach. I believe if you dream it, you can do it. Everything on this earth started with a dream. Everything. The house you sitting in, somebody dreamed about building that house. The car you drove or drive, somebody thought about driving that car. Everything starts with a dream. If you can dream it, you can think it, you can do it. And people don't have enough people behind them, inspiring them to do what they know they can do. Because like you said, it's like crowds in the bucket. Somebody see you going up, it's somebody always trying to pull you down. I want to still be Facebooking right now if I listen to so much negative that came my way. You making an ass out yourself. You looking dumb. Why you saying that? She can't pronounce words right. She can't read. What's her education level? If I had let them people hold me down, I wouldn't be doing Facebook now. I wouldn't be talking to you. I had to believe in myself, and I hate my Facebook fans. My Facebook fans are the reason I'm still here. My Facebook fans are the ones that keep pushing me and telling me how proud they are of me. My Facebook fans are the ones that motivate me. Do another show, Rhoda. Don't worry about what they said about you. We got you. Keep reporting. Keep reporting. You keep on doing it. You're doing good. They just say. But look, let me tell you this, that at one time I thought going Facebook viral was a curse.
It's like a lottery bug, like you win the lottery.
Yeah, it's like lottery. It could be a curse. People see the good, like, oh, she got 1,000 views, oh, she got 60 views, but people don't know, oh, she lost her job because of all them views. Oh, she kept getting reported to her job until she got terminated. People don't know she been on that job 12, 13 years. People don't know those things. You know what I'm saying? People don't know where you used to go to the fire department and they embrace you, where now they can't talk to you because they think that you're media, and it's not the firemen. Even though I fuss with the fire department, that's just for jokes. It's not them personally. They've been instructed not to speak to me because I'm now looked at as media. Even though I'm a citizen, I'm now looked at as media, so they can't hold the regular conversation with me because they never know when Rhoda recording. And they have a PR, personal relation person that's supposed to talk to me. Because now Rhoda Young, which is a regular citizen, is now being judged as a media. So it's a lot to go with it. It's a lot. You got the Norfolk Police Department. Every police in the city of Norfolk, Virginia know my name. They know me by name. How many of y'all really want to be known by the police by name? So it's a lot more to than what you see. Like now, I'm out of work. It's hard for Rhoda to get a job now because Rhoda Young got that camera. So they said if I go on somebody's job, Rhoda Young gonna be back. If you piss her off, I'm gonna pull the camera out and put you on blast. So you got to weigh what you want. You got to know what you want. It can be a good thing or a bad thing. So it all depends on how you take it. So don't get mad and jealous about what you see because your eyes can't see what my eyes see. It's been a lot of days I've been in this house. I was wondering how I'm gonna pay my truck note, how I'm gonna pay my rent because I can't get a job.
Why don't you tell that story more then?
I don't know why I'll tell it. But that's the story,
Yeah, because perception, right, which is what people are seeing, is that you are just on the scene, you're just doing all this stuff, it's glorious, it's great, but there's no other side of it. It's the same thing with entrepreneurship, right, where people are like, oh, this is glorious, you have this office, you've done this, blah, 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 everything must be great. It's not like that, though, right? So why not be more, you're transparent at the scene, why not be transparent about the things that you're going through here? Like, what's holding you back from that?
Well, for some reason, I don't know why I think people may know it, but people don't know it. All they see is a big truck. A big truck. Rhoda got this big old truck. Rhoda got a white husband. Rhoda got fans everywhere. But nobody knows Rhoda got a lot going on. Rhoda don't have a support system. Everybody like watching me, but nobody like supporting me. Rhoda phone broke. People don't know that. That's why people got to start looking at the big picture, look at the small picture. Everybody think I'm doing so great because thousands of people follow me. And I'm out there investigating this person's house, that person's house, that person's house, who having an issue. But Rhoda got her own issues. Rhoda got her own issues out there. Right now, I'm sitting in my house, and I told you this morning, my AC broke.
And it's hot outside.
Yeah, I'm sweating bullets right now. I'm in my own house. My AC broke, and I go out there and I'm go fight for everybody else's AC broke. My mother AC was broke when I was out there fighting for everybody else's AC. But my mama told me if I came to her rent office and started in that crap, I'd be started, she gonna break my neck. So I couldn't go to her rent office and mess with them. So I fought for everybody else. Like, my AC broke, so I got the same issues everybody else got. I get up, put my shoes on like everybody else. My left shoe, my right shoe. You know, I'm just out here. I have my camera. If I ride past something, I record it, you know. And I got a lot of people that like the way I record. They like my style. I can tighten up with my cursing a little bit. Because,
you haven't cussed here once.
Yeah, I got to do better. I have to do better.
So
certain things I'm breaking up on. I have to do better. You know.
But but it doesn't matter what we're doing, right? Like, we all, if we're not growing, we're dying, right? And so one of my favorite lines in the movie Hidden Figures, which actually took place in our backyard. Have you seen the movie?
No.
So it's about the three black women who worked for NASA that had to go through a lot. And there's a line in the movie where, I can't remember who says it, but basically the line is something along the lines of, we all pee the same way, right? We all pee the same color. It was just so powerful. And so there's this big push for people to be empowered, and to hear that line, I just thought it was very, very powerful, and it was great to hear. And it led me to think about kind of the things that you're talking about, where we're all going through struggles, right? Yeah. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that that person isn't doing that. And if the person is just flaunting all the good stuff, you got to think, is there a bunch of negative in the same way? So I appreciate you disclosing some of that stuff. Your husband, what does he think about all this?
He said if we never went to that fire that day, you'll still be working. You got to remember, I was making $56,000 a year, driving the city transit, because I work like that, $46,000 a year, That's not a lot of money to people that out there in the real world that's making a lot of money, but that's a lot of money for a person without education. That's bringing home a good piece of change. So we went from having two incomes to having one income. So in a way, he be like, Rhoda, you and that camera already got you in enough trouble. You need to put the camera down sometimes, But Steven is the one that started me really videotaping a lot of fires and stuff. So it's kind of like he started me, but yet he support me. But then he kind of like, how should I use the word? Steven kind of regretted a little bit as well.
Well, he's not as funny as you.
Right. And I tell him that.
He's jealous of your humor.
Yeah.
He's watching now, too, so he'll probably dislike that statement. That's fine.
But it's the truth. I tell I say you're not funny. We don't have it, hey, me and Steven opposite. Everybody can see that. We're opposite, But that's who God blessed me with. Me and Steven opposite. So Steven don't have all the energy I got. I'm a go-getter. I like to be out there aggravating people. Steven Moore, you in the background too loud, Steven. Steven Moore is in the background acting like he don't know me on the scene. He got a camera out, but he in the corner somewhere acting as if he don't know me. I'm out there touching everybody on the shoulder. Hey, what happened? Tell me what happened. So, we kind of like opposite. I'm the loud one. He's the quiet one.
What's something at the scene that has happened that shocked you? That, and at any scene, was something that you weren't expecting that happened?
I know. Steven, be quiet. I'm on the thing live. Let's see. let me say this right quick.
He wants his cameo. Come on, Rhoda.
Let me say this. Everybody say I'm mean to Steven. They say, stop being so mean to Steven. Everybody feels so soft for him because he looks so innocent. Steven is not innocent. He played innocent in the background. He is not innocent. So when I snap on him, everybody feels soft for him. And he know when to do it. He'll do it on Facebook Live so everybody can feel soft for him.
I heard a rumor that he was going to start something called Steven Young Today to compete with Rhoda Young Live. I'm just saying, maybe that fight between you and Blaine is actually going to be between you and Mr. Stephen Young instead.
Yeah, somebody gonna do a spin-off off of my TV show.
That is really funny. So a lot of people are asking how they can support you. So I do believe, so for those of you who have never seen me before, I'm Zack Miller. Thank you guys for watching. I try to interview people who are doing amazing things that you may or may not know about, and to try and help them get to that next level in their lives. So one thing that a lot of people are saying just from the comments is that we want to support you. We want to support you, right? Whether that's by liking, commenting, sharing, those things are great, but maybe there's some financial support in there. And so what I would recommend you to do, Rhoda, is to go back to that Patreon page, right? And to try and build that back up. And is basically as hard as putting together a Facebook page where you need to link a bank account, I believe. I have one too, but I can't remember exactly what you need to do. But make sure to get on the Patreon. And so Patreon is a place where people with large followings, like Rhoda, can pay her a little bit of money every month so that she can continue to do and create the content that she is creating. And so I definitely recommend you getting on there and then asking every once in a while if someone will give you $1, $2, $5 a month. Before you know it, there's your $46,000 a year, and you can continue to do this. You can buy a new phone. You can buy me a hat, a hoodie, whatever it might be. But I definitely recommend you getting on there and doing that. I can help you with it as well to make sure that you get there because people want to support you. And I think all too often people forget that you have to ask, right? If you want an action to happen, this is my quote. I said it. And I love it. If you want an action to happen, you have to create that action, right? So if you want to date a girl, you have to go up to that girl and say, hey, date me, right? She might say no the first few times, right? If you want to make $1 million, you got to make like $2,800 a day to do that, right? So how are you going to do that, right? If you want to get a job, you have to apply to that job. You have to find the HR manager or the CEO, whoever's hiring that. If you want an action to happen, you have to create that action. So with you, start asking for a little bit of, hey, in return, you guys are my community, hit me up with some stuff. Like, who in the comments would give a couple dollars a month? I bet a bunch of people would. Before you know it, you're making a couple $1,000s a month so that you can support this and do this and not have to go back to that job. So and I'll take 10% of everything as your new producer. No, I'm kidding.
You got it.
Don't want it. Just appreciate you doing this. So, how do you decide what scene to go to?
Well, a lot of times I'm just driving by. I got people that calls me, and a lot of people do instant messenger. They'll instant messenger me, inbox me, and tell me something going on in the neighborhood. And the most thing that I decide on what go on is the ones is what people houses and stuff. How far do I go into somebody's house or, deal with their rent office or something like that. But any other thing like a shooting, a fire, I jump on it, unless it's real late at night and I'm asleep. But I choose and pick who houses I will go to and do an interview. I choose that by if you paid your rent, if you did the right steps, and because even if you're having problems with your house, it's the right way and a wrong way to do it. You can't keep the rent money and stay in the house. You got to pay your money to escrow, to the court system, and let the judge be the final decider. So I can't fight a fight that you already messed up with. So if you're already 2-3 months behind in your rent, and now you complain about your AC, it's hard for me to fight that when your rent ain't paid. So you got to keep your rent up to date. And then we can fight with the part about the AC not working. So I suggest when you got problems with your house out there, don't use that as an excuse to keep the money. Take that money to the courthouse and put it into an escrow fund, and we can fight from there. We can get the evidence that you don't have an AC. We can get the evidence. Now, my AC broke down. I can't be too mad at my rent office unless she let it stay broke down more than 2 or 3 days. But if I can't.
Because accidents do happen, right? Like, is that what you're getting at? So if this progresses weeks, months, then you have a case. But until then, like, things are allowed to break. Right. Do you think people don't, like, are you finding that people are immediately jumping to you, like, my AC's down, they haven't fixed it, it's been 2 hours, and they're calling you? Like, is that happening? Or is it usually stories or scenarios where it's actually a decent amount of time in between?
Normally it's a decent amount of time in between. but I found a couple, not many, but a couple that rent wasn't paid, and they're using their AC not working not to pay the rent. I can't fight your fight. That's when I choose not to be involved in. Because you can't, it's nothing to fight if the rent ain't paid. Not having an AC don't give you the right to keep the rent money because you still got shelter. So you got to keep everything, you got to do everything by the books. Anything in life, if you do it by the books, you win. When you do it your way, you'll lose. So there's a proper way to do things and there's an improper way to do things.
When you did the fire, were you doing Facebook stories at that point? Or it wasn't just straight live videos because they were shorter, right?
Right. It was a little shorter. Everything don't get better, every couple of months Facebook get better and better, At one time we didn't have Facebook Live, we just had videos you can post. Then when Facebook Live came, I was like, oh shoot, I can go live with a video on my camera. So I started videotaping everything I could videotape, It started from doing different parties at each other's house, from doing stuff when I was at work, doing stuff, going out at night to, damn, it's a car accident. Let me get this, and jumping out. And I think, I was doing a cooking show too. Before I did the fires, I was doing a cooking show. Every day I would come home on my lunch break and cook.
Oh.
That's how it really, and everybody would come on Facebook at a certain time to watch to see what I'm going to cook for the kids' lunch when they get home from school. So that's where it actually started at.
Are you a good cook?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Steven,
yes,
is she a good cook? Put it up in the comments. Be careful though, because whatever your answer is could hurt or help you. What's something that you want to do in life that you have not been able to do? Maybe like a bucket list item.
Oh, own my own restaurant. I always wanted to own my own restaurant.
Okay, yeah. What kind of food?
I love soul food. I want my own soul food restaurant with a touch of class in it. So that's the thing I want to accomplish before life is over with. I want my own soul food restaurant. And I'll tell you the name. If anybody steal my name to my restaurant, I don't care. It's going to be called Sunday's Dinner.
I thought it would be called Rhoda Young's Restaurant.
I want Sunday's dinner because it's going to always be a Sunday dinner on the table at my restaurant.
Someone that might be watching, listening at a later time, that wants to be seen, that wants to take action on their career, like you have, by starting something new, that might fear you. How do you escape that fear and do what Nike said and just do it?
Just do it. Be like Nike and just do it. Only thing that's stopping you is fear. Only thing that holds us back for anything is fear. As long as you let fear take over, you'll never accomplish anything. You gotta push and press past your fear. You gotta go out there and you gotta take everything that you're negative and you gotta push that behind you. You gotta push yourself forward and you have to believe in yourself. It do not matter what nobody else think about you. You have to believe in yourself.
Why don't enough people talk like that? Why don't enough people believe that? Why don't enough people promote that? Because, I feel like there are definitely people in my life who have done that, no doubt. But I've had to do that myself, find those type of people, surround myself with those people. You might have heard the quote where you are the 5 people you surround yourself with, and if you surround yourself with a bunch of negative people, you'll probably be negative. Why is that such a hard concept for people to grasp or to be a part of?
Somewhere down the line, people lost. You need to go back and sit on the porch with somebody older. We need to get back around your older generation and sit there and listen to them talk. If you get around, I love listening to older people. Them old people talk to you and instill things in you that you wouldn't even believe. We don't talk to each other no more. We don't. It's called uplifting each other. See, we don't uplift each other no more. We so busy worried about. We don't care. Well, I ain't gonna say we. Some people don't care how good you're doing, long as you don't pass them. They're gonna help you out just as much as they can until you catch up with them, and then they become your biggest enemy. You got to find people that really love you, that really support you with all their heart, and that's going to lift you up when you're feeling down, when you're feeling depressed, when you feel like giving up. They're gonna lift you up. You got to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody to inspire you. That's what I got. I got the best thing out here in Norfolk, Virginia. I got Facebook fans that love me. And I give my credit to them to the day I die. If it wasn't for my Facebook fans, I don't know if I would have made it this far. They be in my inbox. If they find my phone number, they're on my phone. They inspire me. They inspire me to keep pushing. And you need people like that in your corner. You need people that's going to push you.
Yeah.
And don't let you give up.
We got someone like Jen who just said this. I think you'll appreciate it. She says, a slogan idea for your restaurant. Quote, "We on the scene of this brunch." Unquote.
Ouch.
We are stealing that for Rhoda Young's restaurant.
Yes, yes.
A lot of great comments as well. So, someone wants to follow you in your journey. There's only one place to do it. It's your Facebook page?
It's my Facebook page. I do have Instagram. I do have YouTube, but I'm not on it. You know, you won't see me posting on stuff like that often. So, I'm always on Facebook. If you want to find me, I'm at Rhoda Young on Facebook, Rhoda Young Live on Facebook. So I do everything that's easier for me. It's quicker. I get right to the point, and I don't make no money on Facebook, but that's where I like to be at. On Facebook.
Yet. Not money yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying you're the number one news lady in your market. So is your goal to get on the news? Has any of that happened? Have they called you? Like, how's that worked out? Because I saw you try getting into a station the other day.
Yeah, I be trying to get in this station sometimes. But you know what? I've been told, I've been ministered to that I don't need Channel 10, I don't need Channel 3, I don't need Channel 13. I have my own media outlet. I have my own thing going on. They don't have to call me. I got my own thing going on. I'm branded, like you said, I brand myself. If I get with those stations, I won't be able to be me. I won't be able to get to the people that need me. God want me right where I'm at, where people call me on the phone and I can go right out to them. And he built the brand so awesome that I got followers as if I got my own news station, you know, and I can go and, like, this young man contacted me this morning, to God be the glory. He contacted me this morning. He said they want to put him out of high school because of the fact that he has seizures in school. He said they want to send him to CSEP. He said, Mrs. Rhoda, can you please come help and assist me and my mother? Because I don't want to go to CSEP. I want to continue my years in school. Because of my disability, I don't want to go nowhere else. That's a story y'all going to hear me report on. And I say, yes, baby, I will hear your story. So later on this afternoon, y'all see that story where I go sit down with him and his mother, because a child reached out to me. And that's why it's important that I clean up my conversation, because like the man from the fire department said, you never know who's watching you and you never know who's listening to you. So if I'm going to be somebody going to be effective in the community, I want to make sure I'm a positive image, not just for our adults, but for our youth as well. I want to be able to communicate on my page where I can still be funny, but my kids can listen to me and I can be an example and I can lead by example. You know, I want them to see that you can come from nowhere and you can be somebody, but you don't have to be ghetto. So eventually they call me Ghetto Rhoda. Guess what? They changing my name already. They calling me now the #1 newsletter. So as they change, I got to change. Time bring on change. So they growing me. They grooming me. They got me going to church now. One of my Facebook fans say, come to our church. They got me coming to church. They ain't cleaning me up from the inside out, not from the outside. They ain't worried about the hair. We ain't worried about the makeup. They worry about what's inside of me, what's coming out of me.
I think so I grew up in the Northern Virginia part of the state. And I think what's interesting is we don't see a lot of cultures because of the way that things are perceived, right? I mean, it was Black Panther was the first Black-dominated, I'm using the word wrong, Marvel movie, and yet it was like one of the #1 movies of all time. So we're not, and I don't even know if this is the right word either, we're not privy to see what these cultures look like, right? Just because they're not around us, and I think Facebook is allowing us to see that, and you're able to walk us and show us from that lens a different perspective that someone like me may have not ever seen before. when we're inviting people into a new scene that they may have never seen before, and they might be a little hesitant to understand it, how can they be welcomed so that they can receive it in a positive way and not just be so negative towards it?
Open your eyes. Just open your eyes. Open your heart. Open your mind to something new. You know, be like a sponge. Be able to absorb some things. You know, be able to cry for some people. You know, start. You know, you got to cry for people. You know, you got to start feeling. You got to want to see everything around you. I want to know what make everybody tick. What make the whole world tick. You know what I want to see? I want to see how I feel to be living a bit. See, I don't live low. I know how I feel to live in the projects. I know how to feel to live middle class. I know how to feel to be broke. I just don't know how to feel to be rich. I want to see how that feel too. So therefore, I feel like I touched everything. You got to want to be able to touch everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to feel everything. You need to come on out to. Somebody put on Facebook yesterday. I went to that church. One of my fans invited me to, and they said, "Where is all the people at in that church?" Guess what? God sent me to that church. And I went Facebook Live because the people is on my Facebook page. So that's what God sent me to that church, because He gonna fill that church for my phone. That's what it's called, Zion Baptist Church. God said these people praising the Lord in here. They need some help. Call Rhoda Young, and He sent me in there. And guess what? Them people gonna get more people in their church. Watch what God do. Watch how He move.
It's just a different way to do it now, right?
It's just a different way. People gonna want to go to that church now and see what's going on. And they seen my husband in there, and he was a white guy. So it let you know white people are welcome in that church. Stephen is he was raised as Jehovah. Stephen, what was your religion? What's
Jehovah's Witness?
Jehovah's Witness. Stephen was raised as Jehovah's Witness, so he was raised not celebrating Christmas, not celebrating birthdays and all that. So I had to break that change that he was accustomed to. No, I need a birthday present. No, I need a Christmas present. No, we need a Christmas tree. No, we're going to do this. And he said that was his first time him and I stepped into church yesterday together. We've been married 3 years or so.
Wow.
First time he and I had been in the house of the Lord together. God is so good. Stephen said, I had something to move in the inside of me that I never felt before. And I seen Stephen standing there. He said, I felt something moving. That was the spirit of the Holy Ghost. So Stephen got the spirit of what we call black religion, where we get the spirit of the Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? So people that was on Facebook seeing it. People need to come on out. That church right there, welcome black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, I don't care who you are. Come on out. Come out your corners. Come out your corners.
10 minutes later, he says.
Yeah, 10 minutes later. Come out your corners. There's a delay. Come out your corners. Get out your comfort zone. If you're in a restaurant, I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna break the cycle. This is how we're gonna break the cycle as people. If you're in a restaurant and you notice that the restaurant got half of the white people on one side, half of the black people on the other side, don't go where the white people are. If you white, go sit with the black. And if you black, don't sit with the black. Go over there with the white. Let's mix it up. Let's start mixing it up. Let's start unity together. Let's start uniting. Chinese, you see Chinese people? Go sit beside them. Don't say, no, I don't want to sit right there. They Chinese. You better sit your butt right there beside them. We got to start. It starts with us. It starts with us. We got to start back. Everybody bleed red blood. Everybody wake up with white slob on their face. They slobbed last night, and when you take a dump, it's whatever color came out because what you ate. We all one people, just different shades.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Ain't no better. I don't care how much money you got. You ain't better than me. Just because you rich don't make you better than me. Stop looking up. Stop standing high and looking low. Start standing on your high horse and looking down at people. Just bring yourself down to where everybody else at. Having money don't make you better. Having an education don't make you better. None of that stuff make you better than nobody. Everybody's still human. We all got faults. We all have fallen short.
If you guys are loving what you're listening to, feel free to give this amazing interview a share. Give it a like, a love. And if you hate it, you can hate it too, but we're not going to like those ones as much, obviously. If you guys like content like this, feel free to subscribe to my page where I do stuff like this all the time. We don't always have the amazing Rhoda Young. You've been doing this for a long time, but maybe internet famous for almost a year. It's what have you learned from that? Are you going to do this again for the next year? Is there anything stopping you at this point?
After a while, with my contract with my network that I'm with, I won't be able to really do a lot of Facebook posting and stuff like that because the network said that they want people to follow me to the television, and so I won't. That's what I'm giving all I got right now. Because after a while, I won't be able to, do a lot of Facebook posting like I'm doing now. It'd be more like on TV, TV shows. My TV show gonna be similar to what I'm doing now, but I'm not gonna be able to do a lot of stuff on Facebook because of my contract. So,
but you're going to get paid for this. You're getting paid for this too, right? So it's going to be a job.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna have a job. Only thing like I've been dealing with this network and this industries since January, and I didn't know Hollywood is a lot of hurry up and then wait. A lot of hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. You got to do reels, you got to do this, you got to go from the producers to the networks and all, then you send it back to the group. So it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get paid at the end, but you just got to be patient. With anything, you got to have a little patience. Things just don't happen overnight. And when I started off, I thought it was going to happen overnight. It do not happen overnight.
But if you don't do this, by raising your hand, it'll never happen. And I think
Amen.
That's something that you absolutely live by, and I appreciate that. Rhoda Young, appreciate your time here today. This was awesome. If you guys are listening to this, super appreciate you. Feel free to share it with your community so they can hear this. There is a part 1 as well, which in edit I will post together because Rhoda was so good we had to do 2 parts. I mean, that's how she rolls. So you're on the scene of my show, which is me taking your thing. Appreciate you being here today. This has been awesome. Any last words?
Thank you, Zack Miller. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, and I really appreciate it. And I think you're an awesome guy. And if you're any of my fans out there supporting Rhoda Young, support my boy Zack Miller as well.
Love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, my love. May God continue to bless you, and may you have all the dreams that you want.
Absolutely.